it's Libby
and Rosie,
and in today's video we are going to be doing 8 Baby Live costume DIYs/ideas. So we're gonna kind of show you some DIYs that you can make for these costumes and then what to kind of pair them with, so different little clothing pieces. So yeah, let's get straight on into the video. Starting with the princess costume, we're gonna make a princess wand. So I'm gonna be using a straw for the handle, and then we're going to use craft foam, but you can also use paper if that's what you have. And then I'm going to use ribbon to decorate it. And then to put it all together, I'm going to use hot glue, but you have to make sure you're really careful because it's really hot. So to get started making this, I cut out 2 hearts out of white and pink craft foam and glued them together. And then to make the handle, I just cut a straw so it would be the perfect length in Ella's hand. And I glued the hearts onto the straw. And be really careful because the hot glue is really hot. You can burn yourself, and it doesn't look perfect from the back, but it looks really cute from the front. And the last thing I did was glue some cute pieces of ribbon onto it, and it's super cute. Next, to make the pig costume, I started by taking my baby and measuring the elastic around her head. You can use string for this, but it probably won't work as well. Elastic works a lot better. And then I drew 2 oval shapes on some pink felt and cut that out to be the ears for the pig. They're not going to look just like pig ears, but it'll give the illusion. And then I glued my headband together, so I just used a little hot glue and put it on the end of my elastic and just looped it around so it'd make a headband shape. And always make sure that you let the hot glue dry before you put it on your baby, or it'll get hot glue on your baby and your headband will fall apart. The next thing I did was just fold them around the headband and glue them together. And then there you go, you have a pig ear headband. To make the pig nose, I started by painting a Gatorade bottle cap pink with acrylic paint. It's going to take 2 or 3 coats, and then you can use a black Sharpie to color in little pig nostrils. The last step for the pig nose is to measure a piece of elastic to go like right next to the nose, not right on top of it or right next to it. And then I used some hot glue and kind of glued the little pieces of elastic into the bottle cap. You can kind of see what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to explain, but also you see me touching the hot glue. Don't do that. It was not smart. Use gloves or use tweezers or like a pencil or something to help guide it in there. And make sure that you have parental supervision or having a parent do it for you when you're using a hot glue gun, because they can be really, really dangerous. So I just did the same thing for the elastic on the other side. So it made kind of like a pig nose with a little elastic to hold it on your baby's head. So you can see me just gluing that on there, and I'm just doing the same thing, but make sure you use something to guide that piece of elastic in there, because my fingers got really burned. So just don't do what I'm doing, but you can see me just putting the elastic in there. And then there you go, you have a completed Baby Live pig nose. For the cat costume, I made a pair of cat ears. So to make this, all you're going to need is some black elastic, some black felt, and some pink felt. So to get started, I measured around Ella's head just to see how big I would have to have the headband be, but you can do that for any size baby. Then I made a black felt diamond, and as you can see, when it's folded in half, it looks like a cat ear. The next thing I did was glue the headband together just as I did for the pig one. So now it's a headband. As you can see now, I'm folding the cat ear over and gluing it together so that it makes a headband. And the last thing I did once I had both cat ears on was cut out some pink felt triangles and stick them on my headband. And you have a perfect little pair of cat ears. To make the vampire costume, I started by taking a black rectangle of fabric that was the same length as my baby, and I took some green yarn, but you probably should use black. I didn't have any, so I used green, but black would look better. The next thing I did was measure him to make sure he was the right size, of course, and then I took my fabric and folded it down, because what we're going to do is make a little casing for our yarn to go inside so we can make a cape. So I took my hot glue and I made a line of hot glue so that I could fold my fabric down. Again, another warning, be really careful with the hot glue gun because it's very, as you can see, it's steaming, so it's really hot. But I just made a line of hot glue, and this doesn't have to be perfect. So I just made a line of hot glue, and then I very carefully folded it down, as you can see, just like that. Here you can see I'm being really careful with the hot glue. Then I folded it down and I let that cool so that it would be super easy to work with. And the next thing I did was get my string ready to thread through. To thread the string through, you just take a super long piece of string and tie it to a safety pin, because the only way to get it through all the way to the other side is by pushing the safety pin through. So I just took the safety pin and put it in one side of the casing, like that, and then I just scooted it all the way along. As you can see, it's kind of hard to explain, but you can see what I'm doing. I just pull the safety pin along the inside just by pushing it and then pulling the fabric. That's the best way to get the string through. The last step to making this costume is making the fangs. So I used white cardstock and double-sided tape. So I just cut out 2 little triangles, and there's my tape, and I just stuck them onto the tape like that. This way you can have the paper sticking to the tape, and you can have the fangs sticking onto the face of your doll. So once I had both fangs on the piece of tape, I'm not showing it right now, but I'm just sticking them both on, and then I trimmed the tape around the fangs, so they were just fangs, like little white pieces of paper with tape on the back. I'll show you in just a second. There they are. So there's my 2 little fangs, and then here's my baby, and you can just take them and stick them right on their top lip. And now you have fangs. For the next costume, we're going to be doing a superhero costume. So I started with a red rectangle of fabric that was the same length as my doll, and I put a little bit of hot glue on the end and folded it over so I could make a kind of casing so that I could put a string in it so I could tie it around my baby's neck to be a cape. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just using a piece of red shiny fabric. And then on a piece of yellow felt, I made a S shape, kind of like the Superman logo, and I cut that out. And then I took it and I glued it on to my cape. So just with hot glue, nothing special. And then here, as I showed you with the vampire costume, you just put string and like put it on a safety pin, and you can just thread it through the costume. So then here I'm taking an oval of fabric, and I marked out where Evan's eyes were, and then I cut it out as you can see here. And I'm using a tiny bit of hot glue on the ends and taking a black piece of thick elastic and gluing it around in a loop so that I can make kind of like a eyepiece headband type thing. And in the end of the video, you'll see how it looks on him, because it actually looks really, really cute. So that is all you need for the superhero costume. The next costume I'm going to show you how to make is a unicorn costume. So the first thing I did was measure the baby's head with a piece of elastic, and then I took a triangle of fabric and I rolled it into a cone shape so it could be the unicorn horn, and then I just glued it together. So here you can see me just rolling it together. It's kind of hard to explain how to roll it. If you just watch me do it, you'll understand. So the next thing I did was took a little piece of ribbon and I just glued it to the end of the cone, and I just wrapped it all the way around so that this unicorn horn would have a little bit more detail, because just the plain horn looks cute, but if you add something like glitter or, in this case, ribbon, it looks really, really cute. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just using hot glue to secure the ribbon along the way so that it won't slide off the horn when the baby's wearing it. Next, I took that piece of elastic that I measured, and I don't know why my fabric has those weird brown things on it, but it usually doesn't look like that. So then I just glued the ends together. And then, so that your horn is more stable, I glued around the edges and I put it on a piece of craft foam. So now that the horn has kind of a stable bottom, it'll be much easier to glue onto your headband, and it'll look way better when it's sitting on your baby's head. So here I'm just letting it cool a little bit. And then I'm going to trim around the edges of it so that it doesn't have that square there. It's just kind of like craft foam glued to the bottom. I know it's kind of confusing, but if you just watch what I'm doing, you'll understand what I'm doing. And the last step for making this costume is just taking your headband and your unicorn horn piece, putting a little glue on your headband, and then sticking your horn right on there. And then this headband will look super cute on any baby live. So that is all you'll need for the unicorn costume, and then later in the video I'll show you how to style it. For the next costume, we are going to be doing an angel costume, so I'm going to be making a halo headband. So I started by taking a piece of elastic, the same one I had been using before, and I measured it around my baby's head, and then I glued the ends together. Then I took a gold pipe cleaner and twisted it into a circle to be the halo. And then I used a white pipe cleaner to kind of make a stand for it. I'll insert a picture so you can see what I mean, but the halo kind of stands up off the baby's head. I'll show you a picture of what like a real angel halo looks like, but you'll kind of see what I'm trying to do here. And then I just cut it down. And then I'm trying to figure out how to twist it around the headband, but I kind of just like folded it up and then twisted it around the headband so that it would stand up straight. You'd think that it wouldn't work, but the pipe cleaner is actually strong enough so it stands up off the baby's head. So here you see me really figuring out how to twist it onto the headband. So here's Ella rocking the super cute princess costume. She's wearing a crown, she's holding the wand that we made her, and she's wearing a pink sparkly princess dress. This costume is perfect for Ella. It fits her personality like exactly. Up next is Maya modeling our cat ears. We paired it with a white sweater and some white pants, but you can really wear any color. That's cat friendly. And she looks so cute in this outfit. We thought it was just perfect for her personality. Up next is Riley dressed as the pig. We have the pig ears, the pig nose, and then we paired it with this cute little pink shirt and the pink pants that came with Snack and Sarah's. So there she is. Up next is Evan, dressed as a superhero. He's wearing the romper he came in, the cape we made him, and the super cool goggles. Next up, Millie is rocking the super spooky vampire costume. She's wearing the two things we made her, the super cool cape, and she's wearing a pair of little blue jeans and a white shirt to complete the look. Next up is everyone's favorite Kenzie, dressed as a rainbow unicorn. She's wearing the horn we made, the little dress she came in, and some rainbow pants, but for the unicorn costume, you can wear any rainbow outfit you like. Up next is Peyton dressed as the angel. She's wearing the halo that we made her. She's wearing a super cute white American Girl doll dress, but you can have your doll wear anything white, and she looks super cute in this. The last costume is Paisley dressed up as a ghost. She's just wearing the ghost costume we made her.
We hope you guys liked this video.
If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. In the comments, let us know whose costume is your favorite.
And let us know what you're gonna be for Halloween. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye!